So after today, you won't have any of these mistakes. So the first one is you don't promote your core offer. It's not just an online resume. You are writing, to do this, you're going to today become almost like a copywriter. You're going to be writing about how your experience will be a benefit to your target market. And at the end of your little summary section and your experience section, I want you to have a compelling reason for them to pick up the phone and to contact you or to drop you an email and ask about your services. So that's what our goal is. And a lot of people don't do that. They don't take time to build the network. That's the second mistake. So building up your network with your exact ideal type of client. And LinkedIn, this is what I do like about LinkedIn so much, is that you can have search criteria where you can become laser focused. So if you know, I want to attract women who are between say 30 and 50, professional services who've got the role of perhaps marketing manager or CEO, you can actually insert proposed job titles into the search criteria, and up will populate a list of second degree connections that you can connect up with. The third mistake is not asking for recommendations, being a little bit shy to ask for recommendations. And Australians are really guilty of this. So you've got to ask people who represent your ideal type of client. So if I was working with you, and if I represented you, like if I'm generally the type of person that you want to attract more of, you would ask me for a recommendation, because like attracts like. So if you can think about some clients that you've worked with over the last 2 to 3 years, and think they are exactly the type of person that I want to attract more of, if you ask them for a recommendation, then you're going to attract more of that type of person. The fourth mistake is not putting forward the ideas and thought leadership. And this takes a little bit of time. People don't have a lot of time, but this is a mistake, because you've got to put forward your opinion, your slant, put in your words, express yourself in your character, so that people can get a feel for who you are, and if they were going to deal with you and give money to you, what they would expect, the type of communication that they would expect. So, like for example, Greg's written a few books, and I know, and anyone would know, the way that he writes and the way that he puts forward his thought leadership, you would pretty much get a feeling for the type of way that he will help you and communicate with you when you went into one of his coaching programs. So it's a really good way for people to become comfortable and to be confident to buy from you. The fifth mistake is they're too worried about what other people think, and that's another Australian thing. So sometimes we won't put opinions out there because it's like, oh, we're going to get slammed. But you probably will, from that oddball who just has no time on their hands and is just going basically trolling through social media sites, causing trouble. And you just, my thing is just ignore that type of person, or come back with, there's 2 ways of dealing with it, and we can have a chat about this in the break. But just you can either ignore it, or you can have a nice professional response saying, happy to talk with you more about this offline, and just close the conversation. But putting out your opinions will really attract your ideal type of client even more, because a lot of people are what they call pretty beige. They don't want to step outside the square. They don't want to rise up, and because they're scared of that tall poppy syndrome. Yeah, don't be beige. Yes, your industry. I just changed my whole tagline. Yeah. Yeah. The sixth one, no call to action on the profiles or the articles. So what I'd love, when I'm going to ask you to do articles and content and thought leadership, every single piece of content has a call to action. So that you, and the article, I want you to be strategic about this, not just be flippant with whatever you write about. I want you to actually create articles on things that are going to stir their emotions and get them thinking. Like, so you're talking about what problems they're, maybe the top 3 problems that they have, and then provide some basic type of solutions, and then a call to action if they want more sophisticated level of help to solve the problem, for example. So that's that's content writing, but it's with a lot of people are just writing articles that are not relevant, are not going to help them generate leads, not generate inquiries. So does that make sense, what I'm saying? Yep. So we'll talk more about this over the workshop. And then the last mistake is not doing enough like videos and podcasts and articles. And there's a lot of people who aren't doing any of that and are still winning because they're doing everything else right. Like that guy who's going through that IPO, like he's been really busy having to set up a business that's going to get brought on, and had to deal with all of the bureaucracy of stock exchange or all that sort of stuff. So we didn't get any articles for him for like 3 months, but because we were connecting up with his target market, we were sending direct messages to the target market. They were still responding to that. But when they went to his profile, they didn't see a lot of stuff. So he wasn't pretty strong with his positioning, but because he was proactive with reaching out to the ideal type of client, he still got some really, really good leads.